We're going back in on the Napoleon Hill, Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. And low key, I kind of like this book. It seemed like it came after all of the other books he wrote, but it's him reflecting too on the progress all of those books made. That's pretty much what I really think about what this book might be about. Give me a second. Alrighty, we're gonna start right here. Time is the great magician. Close the door on ugly experiences, disappointments, and frustrations. Then the great magician, time, can transmute past sorrows and mistakes into present rewards, success, and happiness. Nut Hamsun, a Norwegian immigrant, failed at everything he tried in this country. In desperation, he decided to write the story of his struggles. His book, which he called Hunger, won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Hamsun's terrible experiences at Lent had made him a rich and famous man. Harry S. Truman failed as a haberdasher. If from then on he had considered himself a failure, he certainly could not have entered upon the road to presidency. We have also the example of another man who took up storekeeping, but the store failed. He took up engineering and also failed. The sheriff sold his surveying instruments to pay off his debts. He joined a group of soldiers in an Indian war, and he had the rank of captain. His record as a soldier was so poor that he was reduced to the rank of private and sent home. He was passionately in love and engaged to be married. The girl died and left him in a terrible state of shock. He took up law. He won a few cases. He went into politics, ran for office, and was defeated. It was astonishing that Abraham Lincoln eventually became president. In a way it is, and in a way it is not. He might have allowed his mind to drag failure and discouragement after him, as a prisoner drags his chains. After all, so many people do, and they are indeed prisoners of the past, never able to break free of the image of failure, which to them means me. He did not do this, however. The way in which he determinedly left failure behind him was no miracle. It was a grand privilege available to every human being. The man who became president had tempered in the fires of life, or he could not have been what he was, nor have done what he did. You cannot see all of the great plan of your life. You can make it full and rewarding, however, if you treat each sorrow and setback as a tempering toward greater and richer experiences to come. Let me suggest, keep yourself aware of life's endless combinations of circumstances. Have you been disappointed in love? Your heart feels literally broken. You can see no joy in the world. You may wish to take an overdose of sleeping pills and end it all. Yet it is likely that nowhere in the world exists the woman or man who can take the place of the one you lost. A moment of thought within the citadel of your deepest mind will show you this is hardly possible. So it happened with me. For after a dreadful disappointment of the heart, I met a combination of circumstances which led at last to the perfect wife. There is a more poignant point to the story when, after a violent lover's quarrel, my first sweetheart turned away from me, married another man. I thought the world had ended. 5 years later, the man she married committed suicide, unbalanced by the constant friction of living with the woman I had been so anxious to marry. Where would I have been with the terror of a woman who heckled me instead of helping me? Every adversity has within it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Remember that even a condition which the world calls handicap, you can call benefit and make it truly so. I have mentioned that Thomas A. Edison had a little formal schooling. W. Clement Stone, the highly successful insurance man, was a high school dropout. So many men have succeeded despite the lack of book learning that without in the least downgrading education, we may say that the lack of it need not be a handicap. It depends on the man. But what if Edison's deafness? Sorry about that. Surely a very marginal ability to hear is a handicap. But again, it depends on the man. Edison, as a boy, had been a candy butcher on trains. Once a man lifted him and his entire load of candy onto a train by his ears, and that was the beginning of the end of his hearing. He could have dwelt all his life on this cruel and damaging experience, like many another. He could have put his major energies bewailing his fate, but he didn't. When I visited him, he was dependent upon a hearing aid, a primitive thing by today's standards. When I was sure we understood each other's minds, I asked him if he had not found his deafness a great handicap. He replied, "To the contrary, deafness has been a great help to me. It has saved me from having to listen to a lot of worthless chatter, and it has taught me to hear from within." Anyone who wants peace of mind should remember those last three words. By transmuting his affliction into a benefit, Mr. Edison learned how to tune in on all of the subtle powers which waits within every mind. He felt too that he heard from within the voice of an infinite intelligence and received guidance from an infallible source. Every adversity has within it the seed or equivalent or greater benefit. All right, it's kind of late. I'm gonna end it there. I did want to make sure to get on there and at least cover something today. As you can tell, I'm kind of getting sick. Something in my throat, man. I got a little throat itch. But this your boy Chuck. Once again, man, this is Grow Rich with Peace of Mind with Napoleon Hill, man, read by your boy Chuck. We're gonna be reading some more tomorrow, man. Tap in.